Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, starring Robert Englund, Lisa Wilcox, and Rodney Eastman, and directed by Rennie Harlan. Now, this is my first two viewings. I watched it twice for this review. And what do I think of the movie? Well, I haven't seen it before, but let's see what I'm getting into. Kristen Parker dreams of Freddy Krueger, returned by Robert Englund, and Kristen is played by a different actress named Tuesday Knight, surprisingly, and brings Kincaid and Joey back to the boiler room where they killed Freddy in the last movie, as he's not dead after all, as Kincaid's dog bites Kristen as an opening I was okay with, because the other three characters from the last movie are back here briefly. Kristen picks up her boyfriend Rick Johnson and his sister Alice and drive them to school, and we also meet the football player Dan, Sheila, and Debbie at the high school. They go together with Kincaid and Joey, which how convenient, and the movie does sort of a good job introducing the characters as I don't necessarily care for them. Kincaid dreams of Freddy with his dog, who spots him underground and runs away, but Freddy comes back to life and kills Kincaid and warns Kristen Freddy's back, and Freddy says, "One down, two to go." Joey is asleep while watching MTV and reading the Rolling Stones magazine, and dreams there's a naked woman in his waterbed, from which I'm getting the impression it's the nurse, as Freddy from the last movie, I'll say, as Freddy puts him in there and drowns him, which didn't feel typical of Freddy, and I didn't mind it. Rick trains Alice to stand up for herself by doing a karate move, which was rather funny. Alice tells Kristen about the Dream Master, which is someone controlling their own dreams, which will never come up again. Sort of. But I sort of get why it's called that, and it's because Alice toughens up and controls her dreams to stop Freddy. Kristen finds out Freddy killed Kincaid and Joey and tells Alice, Rick, and Dan about Freddy and how he haunts his dreams, and the movie is predictable that way. It does a crummy job to care at all about this plot. Kristen pulls Alice into her dream, and Kristen is killed and gets to Freddy's fear body, which kind of weird, and goes on fire, and the last of the dream warriors are dead, and Rick is depressed and acts like an ass to Alice, as he doesn't believe in Freddy and thinks Kristen killed herself. And the problem is, that's very typical of these movies, and it gets annoying and predictable after a while. Alice is in Sheila's dream as Freddy terrorizes her and doesn't make her take her asthma pills, and she's dead. And I honestly don't think I like the way Freddy is playing anymore. It's like it's like I don't know his rules anymore. Rick falls asleep while in the bathroom stall, as Freddy puts him in the elevator to a martial arts dojo, as Freddy's kicking his ass, and Rick fights back as Freddy kills him dead. And this is getting a little too silly, as Alice is asleep, and Rick, while in the coffin, wakes up. Alice, Debbie, and Dan think of a plan to stop Freddy, as Alice tries to learn the nunchucks and sneaks out of her father's place while Debbie is lifting weights, and Dan is waiting by the diner, and Debbie gets killed by Freddy while lifting weights. No pain, no gain. That line was bad. And he rewinds when Alice drives Dan's car to Debbie's place, which was pretty damn obnoxious. Like, how many times am I going to see in the same shot? It's obnoxious. Alice and Dan get to the hospital, and she takes her father's keys while Dan goes into surgery, and Alice suddenly toughens up, which I wasn't buying at all, obviously. And she tries to get Dan out of the dream alive, but Dan makes it out alive while Alice fights Freddy, and she kicking his ass while Freddy has the gloves, and Alice has the chains on her wrists, and she defeats Freddy by showing him the power of the mirror of the Holy Spirit, which shows his reflection, by the way, as he's dead, and now Alice gets the glove by kicking it away from Freddy, and she makes it out alive, and so does Dan, and as a climax, it's adequate at best. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 4.8 out of 10. There's some things I like and some things I don't like, but what I liked was the opening sequence and seeing the Dream Warriors for what little they had to do in this movie. But then there's the plot, as it does a crummy plot telling the obnoxious rewinding one sequence just annoyed the hell out of me. And the storytelling was not great, as I didn't buy Alice toughening up by the end of the movie. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with The Nightmare on Elm Street 5. And until next time, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.